Hi everyone, I'm Bill Graham. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be talking some more about Barry Harris's 6th Diminished system. Now I know this system can seem a little bit complicated at first, so I thought we would try applying it to a nice, simple, familiar context and make some nice movements to play on a 12-bar blues in the key of F. Let's get right to it. Okay, so first things first, let's just go over the basic changes to an F blues to make sure we're all on the same page. We're going to start on the 1 chord, F7, and then go to the 4 chord, B flat 7, and then usually we're going to go to the sharp 4 diminished, B diminished 7, and then back to the 1 for 2 bars. And then we're going to go back to the 4 chord, to the sharp 4 diminished, and then back to the 1. And then we're going to go to 5 of 2, that's going to be D7. And then we're going to go to the 2 chord, G minor 7. And then the 5 chord, C7. And then back to 1, F7. Sometimes it'll be A minor 7 flat 5 actually, to D7, to G minor 7, the 2, to C7, 5, back to 1. So we're going to have also sometimes in the 4th measure, instead of just staying on the 1 chord, we're going to have a 2-5 into the 4. So instead of just staying on F7, we'll have C minor 7 to F7 into B flat 7. And also, sometimes in measure 8, instead of just going straight to D7 leading into G minor, we'll have a 2-5 leading into the 2. So we'll have A minor 7 flat 5 to D7 leading into G minor 7. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about what 6th diminished scale or scales we can play on each one of these chords. So on the first chord, F7, that's a dominant 7th chord, so the first thing we're going to think is minor 6th on the 5th. So the 5th of F7 is C. Let's play C minor 6 over that F7. And that's going to give us an F dominant 9 sort of a sound. Let's take that up the C minor 6 diminished scale over that F7 shell in the left hand. Then we're going to go to the 4 chord, B flat 7. And again, this is a dominant 7th chord. Let's think the minor 6th on the 5th. So the 5th of B flat 7 is F. Let's play F minor 6th over it. And then we go back to F7. So let's play C minor 6 again. And maybe for the second bar of F7, let's go to the tritone, which is going to be a minor 6th a half step up. So we're going to play F sharp minor 6 diminished over that F in the left hand. And that gives us sort of what we might think of as an altered kind of a sound. We've got the flat 9th, we've got the sharp 5th, as well as the 3rd and the flat 7th. So then we're going to go back to B flat 7, of course, using that same F minor 6th. And now this next chord, B diminished 7th. Let's talk about what this really is. So if we're in the key of F, this is really a tonic diminished chord, or a common tone diminished chord. because every diminished 7th chord has 4 different roots, right? So if this is B diminished 7, it's also D diminished 7, and it's also F diminished 7, and it's also A flat diminished 7th. So in a major key, if you've got a diminished chord on the tonic, on the flat 3, on the sharp 4, or on the 6, that's all the same chord. And so the scale that we should play over that, let's think about what a 6th diminished scale really is. So a 6th diminished scale really is a 6th chord, and then a diminished chord a half step below it. So if this is the tonic diminished chord, let's see what happens if we make a quote-unquote diminished scale by taking our tonic diminished chord here and putting another diminished chord a half step below it. And so, in fact, what that is what you'll typically see called the whole half diminished scale. So let's hear that little movement. Let's go from B flat 7, where we're going to play F minor 6 diminished. And then we're going to go to B diminished. And then back to F7, where we're going to play C minor 6th. And then we're going to go to D7 flat 9. So let's play, this time, since we know it's going to have a flat 9 sound, we can't play the minor 6th on the 5th. Let's try playing the minor 6 on the flat 2. That's going to be E flat minor 6th over D. Or we could have played also G minor 6th, starting from the diminished. And that's going to resolve to G minor 7, which, as we know, G minor 7 is really B flat 6th. So let's come down a B flat 6th diminished scale. We also could have played the 6th on the 5th of that. So thinking B flat 6th, the 5th of B flat is F. So we can also play F6 diminished. Into B flat 6th. And then we go to the 5 chord, C7. So we could play the minor 6 on the 5th, that'd be G minor 6th. Or we could play the tritone, so C sharp minor 6 diminished. And then back to F7. So thinking C minor 6 diminished. And actually, whether it's F7 or A minor 7 flat 5, so whether the bass player plays an F or an A, doesn't really matter because we're going to play the same 6 diminished scale on it. We're still going to play C minor 6 diminished. And then back to D7. So let's play that G minor 6 diminished starting from the diminished. And then back to G minor 7, so that's going to be B flat 6th. And then to C7, again, G minor 6 diminished, or C sharp minor 6 diminished. And then we're back to the 1 chord. Another nice sound to play on the 1 chord is going to be F6 diminished. So even though it's a dominant 7th chord, it's still the 1 chord of the key. So let's try putting that major 6 diminished scale on it. we're going to play an F7 shell in the left hand. Let's play up the F6 diminished scale in the right hand. And that gives us an F13 kind of a sound. Let's try running that F major sound into an F7 sound. So we're going to run F6 diminished into C minor 6 diminished. Into C minor 6 here. Alright, so now that we know which 6 diminished scales we can play on each chord, let's try playing some basic movements using them. I'm going to play 3 choruses of blues and then go back and talk about what I played. Alright, let's take a closer look at all of those movements. First 4 bars, we're starting on F7, and I'm thinking the minor 6th on the 5th. So I play C minor 6th, play the C minor 6 diminished scale, just come down, and then we're going to B flat 7, so let's go to F minor 6, and then B diminished, and now when we go back to F7, I'm going to think F6 diminished this time. And now we're going to play a 2-5, we're going to play C minor 7 to F7. So on C minor 7, I'm going to think E flat 6th. And then on F7, we're going to play F sharp minor 6, the minor 6 on the flat 2. And then I borrow 2 notes from its diminished and resolve them back down. Alright, next 4 bars, we're on B flat 7, so we're thinking F minor 6th. And then on B diminished, we're going to think the F diminished scale. So that's F diminished and E diminished. And then when we go back to F diminished, I borrow the top 2 notes from E diminished this time, and then resolve them back down. Now we're going to go to F7, and I'm going to think F6th on top of that. F6 diminished. Then we go to A minor 7 flat 5, so that's C minor 6th. And then on D7, I'm playing the minor 6th on the flat 2, E flat minor 6th. Borrow the top 2 notes from the diminished, and then resolve them back down. Alright, last 4 bars, we're on G minor 7, so that's really B flat 6. So we're just going to come up a couple of inversions of B flat 6. And then on the next one, instead of just going straight to the next inversion, I borrow 2 notes from the related diminished. Then resolve them down, and then down into the diminished below, and it should resolve up while it's still on G minor 7, but it's a little bit delayed, so those notes don't resolve until after it's already moved to C7, and then we jump up to the minor 6th on the flat 2 of C7, which is C sharp minor 6th, and I've got 2 notes up top borrowed from the related diminished of that, resolving down. Then we're going to be on A minor 7 flat 5, which is really C minor 6, to D7, where we're going to play the minor 6 on the flat 2, and then borrow 1 note from the related diminished, resolve it back down. Now we're going to G minor 7, and we're going to play the 6th on the 5th of B flat 6th. So that's F6 now, into B flat 6th. And then we're going to go into C7, and we're going to play the minor 6 on the flat 2 of that, which is C sharp minor 6. If we put all of that together, let's hear that whole chorus slowly. Let's take a look at the second chorus. It starts off basically the same as the first chorus. So we're playing C minor 6, C minor 6 diminished over F7, then to F minor 6 over B flat 7, B diminished, F6 over F7. This time we're going to play some slightly different movements on it, just to C minor 7, which is E flat 6, and F7. This time, instead of going straight to F sharp minor 6, we're going to go to F6 first, and then move that to F sharp minor 6, resolving it into F minor 6 for B flat 7. Alright, the next 4 bars, we're going to start on B flat 7, so we're thinking F minor 6th over that. And then B diminished 7, we're thinking F diminished, to E diminished, F diminished, E diminished, F diminished. And then we're back to F7, we're going to think F6 over that, F6 diminished, A minor 7 flat 5 is C minor 6 diminished. But also, remember, we're playing a 2-5 into G minor, so we're going to switch to G minor 6 diminished. After playing the C minor 6 diminished, we're going to continue playing a movement with G minor 6 diminished. And then when we go to D7, we're going to play the minor 6 on the flat 2, E flat minor 6 diminished. And I've borrowed the top two notes from the diminished and resolved them down again. Last 4 bars of the second chorus. We start on the 2 chord, G minor 7, so that's B flat 6th. And then we go to the 5th on the 6th, F 6th, make it diminished to connect back into B flat 6th, down an inversion. And now we're going to C7. We're going to play the minor 6 on the flat 2, C sharp minor 6th, and then we're going to borrow the top note from the diminished chord above. And then we're going to A minor 7 flat 5, so that's C minor 6. D7 is going to be E flat minor 6. Borrow the top note from the diminished chord below, back to G minor 7, so B flat 6th, 6th on the 5th, and then C7, we're playing C sharp minor 6th, and then we're actually going to play E diminished, which we borrow from F6, which we're about to resolve into. If we play that phrase slowly, and then let's try that whole chorus slowly. The last chorus starts off with a phrase that Barry likes a lot, where we go 1 6th, 2 minor 7, or you could think of that as being the 4 chord with the 6th in the bass, to the sharp 2 diminished, and remember this is really the tonic diminished, leading up to the 1 in first inversion, or with the 3rd in the bass. So in this key we've got F 6th to G minor 7, or B flat 6, F diminished over A flat to F 6 over A. And then that takes us to the 4 chord, where we're going to play B flat 7, so we're playing F minor 6th, and then to F diminished, to F 6th over F 7, come down our F 6 diminished scale, connect it to C minor 6th, take it back to F 6. Now we're going to play our 2 5, so C minor 7 is E flat 6, and then to F 7 we're going to play C minor 6, the minor 6 on the 5th, to F sharp minor 6, the minor 6 on the flat 2, so that's C minor 6 to F sharp minor 6, and that's going to resolve to F minor 6th over B flat 7. So if we play that all slowly, okay, next 4 bars, we start on B flat 7, so this is going to be F minor 6 diminished. Then we're on our sharp 4 diminished chord, B diminished, so this is our F diminished scale. And then we're to F7. We're playing C minor 6th there. And then we switch to F6th, starting on the diminished into F6th. A minor 7 flat 5 is C minor 6th. To D7 is, again, we're going to play the minor 6 on the flat 2. E flat minor 6th. And then jump up here to another inversion of it. Let's hear all of that slowly. And then for our last 4 bars, we're on G minor 7, which is, again, B flat 6th, and we're going to borrow 1 diminished note. And then jump up to our 6th on the 5th, take it through its diminished, down into B flat 6th, and then we're going to go to C7. This is going to be C sharp minor 6th, which is the minor 6 on the flat 2, but our top note we're going to borrow from the diminished, and then we're going to change it into G minor 6th, which is the minor 6th on the 5th. And then we're going to take that to F6th, to D7 is going to be E flat minor 6th, G minor 7 is B flat 6th, and then C7, we're going to play the minor 6th on the flat 2, so C sharp minor 6th, and then we're going to change that into E diminished, which comes from the F6 we're about to resolve into over F7. So let's play that last phrase slowly. Now let's hear that whole thing again up to tempo. Alright, so even though we're really just barely scratching the surface, that's probably enough information to deal with for today. Make sure that you take all of these close position chords we've been playing and work on them in drop 2 also. And of course, as always, practice everything in every key. If you have any questions or comments about this video or about any musical topics in general, please leave them below. If you're interested in taking some Skype lessons, please send me an email at billgrahammusic@gmail.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take it easy.